I am moving on to Todd Tucker. Okay. Todd Tucker has has filed a response to Kandi claiming that he was not daddy daycare. Oh Lord. Where is the document in this response? Blah 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 blah. Okay, there it is. This was filed February 5th, 2026. Where is my straight from the A chat? I need to put my straight from the A in here. Hold on. Because I paid for these documents. I don't be wanting to give them away for free. Just me. Okay, just me. Hold on. Let me see. Overlay. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I'm gonna give y'all a minute, another minute to like this video. All right, we in like playing, honey. I got my little straight from the A thing. Hold on. I got my court documents, and I have. Let me see. Window. There it is, right there. This is Todd's response. This is Todd's response to petitioner's motion for a temporary hearing on parenting time and child support. Now, I know a whole bunch of bloggers was in there. Remember, I told y'all a blogger had filed what was a rule something, child trying to get cameras in the courtroom, and so I've heard that Todd might be on board into sealing the documents because originally he wanted to keep everything open, and now they're having another hearing in another 30 days or so where they both agree that it should be sealed. But even with that, a judge may deny it, but we will see. So I'm like, y'all need to stop doing stuff all crazy and all willy nilly. Just show up and take notes and read the court documents. You ain't got to be all extra. Anyway, I'm digressing. But here is a husband's response to petitioner's motion for a temporary hearing on parenting time. It says, comes now, responded T. Jermaine Tucker by and through his counsel of record, respectfully showing the court that he should be designated the primary custodial parent with primary decision-making authority until further order of the court, and files this his response to petitioner's motion for a temporary hearing on parenting time and child support. Now, if you remember, Kandi was trying to say that Todd was playing with y'all, that Todd was being performative by constantly posting those daddy daycare clips all on his social media. But Todd is saying, how can I post them if I ain't got them? Okay. Kandi was saying, no, I got a nanny, I got this, I got that. And Todd is saying, well, you ain't here. Okay, you ain't here. Somebody got them and I'm their daddy. So I need to have, the authority to do what I need to do. So what they're arguing about is the kids. And that's one of the things that wasn't in the prenup, allegedly, because you remember when Kandi filed for divorce, the one thing that she said that she wanted a judge to decide on was child support and custody. Okay. So here is Todd's introduction, and we just gonna read it, child, just like a book. It says petitioner K. Lanice Tucker, the mother, initiated the instant action for divorce on November 25th, 2026. The parties were married on April 4th, 2014, and are the parents of two minor children, A. Tucker, born in 2016, and B. Tucker, born in 2019. They're called the minor children. Since the filing of this action and for a substantial period preceding it, father has acted as the primary custodial parent, providing the minor children with their primary day to day care, supervision, schooling, and overall well being. While mother's employment has required her to work out of state for extended periods. Listen, Todd ain't saying nothing we don't know. I'm just saying he's not saying anything we don't know. Somebody got to make the money, okay? Somebody got to play dad at daycare, and somebody got to go to work. That's what is given. It says, given the nature of mother's employment, it is expected that these work-related absences will continue, making a custodial arrangement that accounts for this reality necessary to serve the minor children's best interest. Ty gonna end up with the house, the cars, the money, the dog. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, they not gonna move the kids out of the they're not gonna move the kids out of the house. It's gonna be interesting. You said, oh wait, hold on. Let me put myself back. Y'all saying y'all can't see me? Can y'all see me now? What's going on over there? Hold on. I don't know why it changed. I guess it's the I guess it's the thingamajiggy. I don't know. But anyway, it says given the natures of mother's employment, it's expected that all of this is going to continue. Okay. It says while the parties appear to be close to reach an agreement on a parenting plan and have been actively working towards resolution of issues concerning the minor children, father files this response out of an abundance of caution. In consideration of the statutory deadline to respond and preserve his rights in the event the parties are unable to resolve all remaining issues related to custody, parenting time, decision making authority, and supports. You see that? And supports. Okay. Father shows that this filing is not intended to impede settlement efforts, but rather to ensure that appropriate relief may be addressed by the court if necessary. In the event the parties are unable to resolve all remaining issues related to the minor children, father shows that a temporary parenting plan designating him as the temporary primary physical custodian with joint legal custody and father having final decision making authority best promotes stability, continuity, and the best interest of the minor children during the pendency of this action. So as long as they are fighting in court, however long it takes for them to argue over this prenup, Todd said he needs to be able to make all the decisions when it comes to the kids. Okay. Now it says father admits the statement contained in paragraph 1. Father admits the statement contained in paragraph 2. Father admits in part the statements contained in paragraph 3 of mother's motion to the extent that parties incur routine monthly expenses on behalf of the care and maintenance of the minor child, including educational, medical, extracurricular activity, and personal maintenance expenses. Father denies all remaining allegations. Now I need to pull up Kandi's motion, but in Kandi's motion, she was pretty much saying Todd don't pay nothing and that she pay everything. And he pretty much saying, you're right. Okay. Father denies the statements contained in paragraph 4 of mother's motion to the extent that it reflects mother's interpretation of OCGA 1993 by way of further response. Father shows that it is well settled in Georgia that, quote, it's the joint and several duty of each parent to provide for the maintenance, protection, and education of his or her child. So she was saying that Ty ain't paid nothing. He's saying that it's the duty of both of us to provide. So basically, she was asking for the court to have him pay, but he's saying that even if he has to pay, y'all, they both got to pay. Okay. So it also says father admits the statement contained in paragraph 5. I should pulled her motion. It says father denies the allegation contained in paragraph 6 as it is vague and ambiguous as to which residence is referenced. Now we know that they own multiple properties, and it says given that the parties jointly own multiple properties. By way of further response, because she's talking about the house that they reside in, that the kids reside in. It says father states that the parties divide expenses by agreement, with each party responsible for expenses associated with his or her separate property, and both parties contributing to expenses related to jointly owned properties. Interesting. Okay. So basically, he's saying, I pay for my little townhouse over here. You need to continue paying for the big house. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Cause my name ain't on that. You made sure that. And it says both parties contributed expenses related to jointly owned properties. What property they own jointly, I don't know. It says father denies the statements in 7. Father denies statements in 8 of mother's motion. Father shows that since the initiation of this action, he has been the only parent consistently present in Georgia, where the minor children reside, while the mother has worked out of state for an extended period of time. During this period, father has acted as the minor children's primary and day-to-day caregiver, handling their routine care, school-related responsibilities, and daily needs. Notwithstanding mother's extended absence, father has consistently facilitated mother's parenting time, including transporting the minor children to New York during the Christmas holiday so that mother could exercise holiday parenting time. Any disputes arose solely from mother's unilateral efforts to arrange travel and parenting time without prior good faith consultation with the father, which was not in and in fact undermined the minor children's best interest. Now, if I remember correctly, in Candy's document, she was saying that Todd was upset about her, and she actually had certain dates that she had already arranged travel for with the kids. And I guess she hadn't cleared that with him, because previously she didn't have to. But now, I mean, since they're arguing over custody, you're gonna have to y'all gonna have to agree on their travel schedule. Now, it also says paragraph 9 of mother's motion does not require a response from father, as it contains mother's request for relief. To the extent that a response is necessary, father denies any implication that court intervention is required due to father's conduct, and shows that he has facilitated mother's parenting time throughout the pendency of this action. Father states that a temporary order is appropriate to provide clarity and structure consistent with the minor children's best interest, and to prevent parenting time from being unilaterally dictated based on mother's availability, work schedule, or personal convenience, rather than the minor children's routines and needs, which the father has been responsible for maintaining during mother's extended periods of employment. So basically, Candy had plans, and Todd is saying, them plans ain't got nothing to do with what's going on around here. Okay. You said, Michelle, what is the reason for divorce? Okay, I don't know. You gotta ask them. I don't know what happened. I'm just saying, we just know they ain't that it's cheaper to keep them. And Candy said, "No, I don't want to do this no more." And Ty is fighting. Okay, and one of the things that he's fighting about is the children, custody of the kids. Which in turn, even if he doesn't win the battle over the prenup, he'll be winning some type of support based off of that. So, money, a check will be cut one way or the other. I don't know how, but anyway. Mother's motion does not require a response, blah, blah, blah. It said father admits that the entry of a temporary parenting plan addressing parenting time, holidays, and academic breaks is appropriate during the pendency of this action. So I mean, Todd is like, we need a plan. Okay, we need something in writing, because she's not gonna be the boss of me. Okay. Um, it says paragraph 11 of mother's motion does not require a response from father, as it contains mother's request for relief. To the extent that a response is necessary, father requests that mother's request for relief be denied in its entirety, as it is premised on mother's unilateral attempts to dictate parenting time with the minor children without prior good faith consultation with the father, and without adequate consideration of the minor children's best interest or the existing custodial structure under which father has been providing their primary day-to-day care. Father further states that if the parties were unable to reach an agreement, spring break parenting should be determined by a court ordered temporary parenting plan and allocated in a manner consistent with the minor children's best interest, rather than by unilateral scheduling decisions. Like Candy got a year's worth of stuff already planned for them kids, because she knows she's gonna be in New York. So Todd is saying, he ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay. It says, paragraph 12 of mother's motion does not require a response. It said, to the extent that a response is necessary, father state that these issues should be addressed at the 60-day conference, which is scheduled on February 19th, the day before Kenya's money is due, or that the court should schedule a temporary hearing at the earliest available date in order to establish temporary custody, parenting time, decision-making authority, blah, 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 blah. Now, Todd, he smoothed it out a little bit. He said, Father recognizes his mother as a loving and capable parent and supports her continued and meaningful involvement in the lives of the minor children. However, any temporary custodial arrangement must reflect the children's present reality and best interests, recognizing that father has functioned as the minor children's primary custodial parent during the pendency of this action, while mother has been employed out of state for extended periods. And given the nature of her employment, is likely to continue doing so. Father shows that a temporary parenting plan designating him as the temporary primary physical custodian with joint legal custody and father having final decision making authority best promotes stability, continuity, and the best interest of the minor children during the pendency of this action. Wow. Whew, I don't know what's going to happen. You say you think the dungeon has been sealed up? Oh, no. It says, Father shows that the parties have been working cooperatively toward a private resolution of our issues and have already participated in multiple mediation sessions, but have been unable to reach an agreement on a temporary or permanent plan or on a comprehensive settlement of all issues. Father shows that it is in the minor child's best interest that such an order be entered on custody, parenting time, and support during the pendency of this action. So he is basically focusing on the fact that, the children don't need to be moved, the children need stability, and most judges will agree with that. Now, it says, Father respectfully requests that these issues be addressed at the hearing, 60-day hearing on February 19th, especially since the parties have already attended multiple mediation sessions. In the alternative, Father requests that the court schedule a temporary hearing at the earliest available date. Okay. So it's interesting. Hold on. Let me get back. I think this thing right here is stopping me. Okay. Here I am. I'm back. So it's interesting to see that Todd is fighting for them kids. Child. Todd said he wants the decision making authority, and who knows if he wants it for real or if he's just using this as leverage. Because at the end of the day, it just feels like this is what he's using to get what he wants out of Kandi, whether it be something in the prenup that needs to be changed or whatnot, because this is the only thing that he has to fight over if the prenup is ironclad, allegedly. You said Ty is after a money grab. I guess you said Kandi should not have let Bravo film her son crying because he missed his mother. Child, whatever happened to marital roles, strength, weaknesses? Looks like sister's hard work is being weaponized. This is a money grab. I agree, resident therapist, but this is the way she set things up. Is it not? I mean, from the very beginning, wasn't it Kandi was working and Todd was a stay-at-home dad? I mean, he's been doing this for years. This is not nothing new that he's just started doing. So, even when he was doing those cringe worthy, shout out to binge worthy, even when he was doing those cringy glam squad videos, when he was talking about his name wasn't on the house, or talking about cheating, or talking about all the things that he was talking about, it was like, dude, he is setting up a case for divorce. They're gonna use all this in court. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm wishing the best for everyone involved. I also noticed that in the court thingamajigget, they also are going to, and I said this earlier, I had heard that allegedly Todd felt some kind of way when he saw all them people in there in that last status conference hearing, which really wasn't much of anything to be uh in attendance of, but a lot of bloggers attended, and again, some bloggers had filed certain documents and couldn't enunciate why they filed those documents, so it was somewhat of a shit show. But I think because of that, they are now both on the same page with sealing the document. So he may also be submitting his motion to seal, but a judge again may deny it because it's not too many times that they seal certain things like this. So, we'll see. He said Todd has the kids, and if anything happens when she's not available, someone has to be able to make on the spot decisions. That's true. That's true. You blame Mama Joyce, she cursed their marriage. Oh no, not the Mama Joyce curse, child. Hold on, let me see when the next thing is. Like this video as y'all get in here. Like this video. Um, if anybody wants to call in, you are welcome to. We talked about a lot of things today. I think Kandi and Todd was my last thing to discuss. We talked about Kenya's order. We talked about Todd and Kandi. We talked about Jocelyn Hernandez going in on Mama Scott Young. We talked about JT and colorism. We talked about Debrat and Judy and their colorism accusations. I think we had a pretty decent show. Hold on. We talked a little bit about the Super Bowl, a little bit. Let me see what it say. Hold on. It says, yeah, they have a pending motion for confidentiality, which is going to be heard in March, on March 17th. So I don't know if that's Candy's motion because they already denied one. So I'm thinking that might be another Todd's motion. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. Um, I hope it goes well for them too. I do. I do. You said this would be the longest divorce. It might be, but shoot, Portia and Simon were getting divorced for like 2 years, wasn't it? So mhm, we will hear more about it. Uh, my phone is dead, y'all. How my phone die? I don't even have no outlet down here. I mean no cord. Click the link if you like to call in. If you like to chime in on any of these topics, you don't even have to be on camera, child. You don't even have to be on camera. Otherwise, I'm just gonna scroll through some of these comments. You said reason for divorce: Todd married an alpha female and not a domesticated woman. He's inferior and wants to be the head of household. It's called social belief of what a wife should. What the rest of it? Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I agree that that may be a part of it. But Todd knew who he was marrying when he married her. Like Todd met her on the set of a reality show. Todd knew Candy's status at the bank. Okay. So I don't know. Todd never gave me alpha male. Like, wasn't it Marlo who was calling out Todd and saying that Candy was a sugar mama and all that? And wasn't Candy saying she could take care of every motherfucker in here? And Candy was reiterating that on air and basically, saying that it was true. So it is what it is. Um oh, thank you, friend. I appreciate it there, resident therapist. Thank you so much. Then Candy and Todd make fun of Phaedra's divorce being so long. Now look, okay, they did. They did. Candy shared her desperation for marriage and more kids. Not Marlo was right, child. All right. Well, on that note, I appreciate everyone chiming in tonight.